Well, Halloween is just around the corner, and I was tinkering away making a video which I was putting off for a while, just because I think it would fit better with the Halloween season. But then I saw this news and I wanted to give my thoughts on it, so let's dive in. I see this as a sign of our times. It would have gone under my radar if Disney did this in a less politicized and polarizing period, but they didn't. They chose to do this in 2020, which leads me to believe this is a move motivated by trends and not actual good intentions. No, Disney and by extension Hollywood didn't just now finally found their moral compass. Now, apparently it used to be a shorter warning a year ago, but now they updated it and it pretty much looks like what you see now on your screens. And on the exterior, it does seem like a good move. As an adult, I can see and understand why these elements from these movies are bad and arguably unnecessary from a storyline perspective. Of course, now I know these things are meant to represent racist stereotypes, and of course I don't like them. However, when I first watched these movies as a kid, I had no idea what they meant because, well, I was a kid who wasn't told what they meant. I wasn't told how to think or what to feel about them. To me, they were just funny cats or funny birds and didn't represent anything. Who knows, maybe I was just a dumb kid. Maybe other kids got the racist undertones. Tell me, did you guys get these stereotypes when you were kids, or did you just share in my naive viewing of these movies? If you were the same as me, then would you appreciate the, let's say, nuance of having your babysitter start educating you on things like racism, stereotypes, and just general social justice? Because as an adult, I would find that extremely creepy. Yet that's exactly what Disney is doing with this. It's educating your kids on how to view the world. If you didn't see it at first, Disney will point it out to you, and Disney will tell you what it symbolizes and how to feel about it. Oh, I'm sorry, no, Disney won't explain it, no. It just gives this blanket statement and leaves the explanation to the poor parents who now have to explain what racism is to their young kids. Gee, thanks Disney. I used to think we shouldn't expose kids to the cruelty of the world from such a young age, but Disney knows best. I'm guessing you would also like parents to teach their kids exactly where they fit on the oppressive scale too, huh? If you're black, you're a victim and the white people are out to get you. And if you're white, well, you're the devil. Don't believe me? Just look at what your race has done. Even this cartoon, look at the stereotypes. Look at the hate. Look at it! That's you, Billy. The sins and the suffering of your forefathers will haunt you until the end of days, a curse to be bared indefinitely by future generations.
He's possessed!
He's insane!
He's my kind of guy!
At least if we let companies like this one decide. The same company that made these movies in the first place. The same company which in 2019 decided it was okay to film next to a concentration camp. Why don't they have that disclaimer in front of Mulan 2020? Well, because it just doesn't serve their purpose. They don't really care, and they wouldn't want to lose China as a source of revenue. No, of course they wouldn't. Meanwhile, the West just takes it up the ass and asks for seconds. Look, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and call it as I see it. This is a power grab by companies like this. If they can act as the moral compass for people from a young age, then they can control those people when they grow up. And until now, Disney was instilling values in kids that were universally considered good, like courage, compassion, ambition, and love. But that's not enough anymore. Now they're going the social justice way. Oh, but it's good that they drew attention to it. These elements are bad. Yes, they are. No one is defending these elements, but the reason behind the action is important. Also, companies like Disney won't just stop there. We all know they won't. How long will it take for them to take similar stances that other companies have taken, with forced diversity and social justice? Wait a minute, they already do that. Will they issue a warning for movies that contain certain races too? This one contains white people, that one contains black people. It sounds crazy, but 5 years ago this sounded crazy. Just reading about some of these advisors that Disney got to do this is alarming. You know when you need such advisory teams in order to just write a story? When writing propaganda for one thing. Let's just take a look at some of these. GLAAD Media Institute. GLAAD is a dynamic media force rewriting the script for LGBTQ acceptance, provoking dialogue that... Wait a minute, why does Disney want to provoke dialogue about LGBTQ with kids? Provoking dialogue that supports cultural and narrative change. Which culture and narrative are you trying to change here? Let's take another one. AAFCA. Jesus, these names. Encourages diversity, forced diversity, and inclusion within the film and TV industry with a particular emphasis on the black experience. Black experience? What the fuck does that even mean? Is there such a thing as a white experience? If there is, I don't want it. They both sound like racist stereotypes. Through proactive programming. Proactive programming? Aren't those the exact words you're looking for when searching for a movie for your kid? Proactive programming. Curated content. You mean propaganda? And advocacy. Advocacy for what? For the black experience? This is starting to sound like a porn movie. Define America uses media and the power of storytelling to shift the conversation about immigrants, identity, and citizenship in a changing America. These guys are really good at their job of shifting conversations and / narratives because they do it in their own company statements. People, for the most part, don't have an issue with the legal immigration, but with the illegal one. Shift the conversation about citizenship. Do you see what they're doing here? Again, these people are really good at their job. The problem is that their job is mostly to lie to the public, and in the case of Disney, to actual kids. Kids who shouldn't have to deal with such political issues. But these are the advisors that Disney thinks are appropriate in having a say in educating your kid. One more. Gina Davis Institute on Gender in Media, an organization working collaboratively within the entertainment industry to create gender balance. Gender balance, that's when they need to reach certain quotas of a specific gender in a company. What if you get more qualified applicants of one gender? Well, then you just don't take them. Instead, you take the less qualified one to reach that quota. What if you have only 5 positions open? Someone's getting the X, and I don't mean figuratively. This is insanity, and it has no place in a normal society, which in my opinion should be based on merit. If they can see it, they can be it. Well, Gina, you seem pretty successful yourself. Tell us, what movie did you see that made you be so successful? Did they have to reach a certain quota with you too? Is that why you've reached the top? Or could it have something to do with your talent? Nah, couldn't be. Now don't get me wrong, there are some good ones here too. Like this one, increases the visibility of native nations and peoples in American society and challenges existing negative narratives. That sounds good. Unless these are the same people that dox you if you go out dressed as Pocahontas and call you a racist for it. Then we've got a problem. Because in my opinion, those moments are actually celebrating culture. Sure, it's not accurate, but Halloween isn't anthropology class, so it shouldn't be required to be accurate. Please, can our modern society have some fun without feeling the urge to educate you? Or does everything have to be Ferngully now? Anyway, okay, here's one that I can't bitch about. The Science and Entertainment Exchange is a creative outreach program of the National Academy of Sciences that connects entertainment industry professionals with top scientists to inspire engaging, science-based storylines and positive portrayals of scientists in films and television. This sounds like something our society actually needs. Through its many partnerships, the exchange supports authentic, credible, and powerful messages about science as a way to influence audience perceptions and increase public understanding of science. With people claiming science is racist and flat earthers at every corner, we really need Neil deGrasse Tyson up in here stat. I'm serious, just yesterday I ran across someone who was claiming that nuclear bombs are a hoax. What I'm saying is, we need help. Going back to this, look, on its own, and if they stop here, it's fine. But if the recent politically correct agenda-focused movies from Disney and those advisors are anything to go by, they probably won't. And I've seen people argue that it's better than to just outright censor or remove them. And yeah, sure, if censorship is the measuring stick we're using for this, I agree. I wouldn't want for all these movies to be removed and censored. But you know who else doesn't want to remove all this content? Disney. They still want to make money off of them, so of course they don't want to just remove these movies. Instead, they prefer to dump this mess on the adults and kids alike and let them deal with the shit show that follows. So no, you know what? Remove them. Go on, Disney. Remove this racist content. Go on.
I dare you. I double dare you, mother...
Yeah, I thought so. How about you leave the past in the past and strive to do good in the future? You know, like not film your movies next to an internment camp. You can't do that either, can you? Then what the fuck are we doing here? Hypocrisy, thy name is politically correct. Try to be correct, leave the politically out of it. Anyways, I've had enough. I'm done. As I've said when I started this video, it's a sign of the times we're living in, and only time will tell where this all leads. Now, I should really get back to that other thing, or I'll never finish in time. Thank you for sticking with me, and have a nice day.